It never occurred to me that Will would take his life.
When I said, "What's going on with Kai? Do you know anything?" And she started crying very hard. And she said, "Hasn't anybody talked to you?"
In my mind, I was thinking, okay, she's done something, but God, please let her just be sick or just unconscious or something like that. But that wasn't the case.
Mark went downstairs and he said, "Candy, call 911, Will's bleeding." And I thought, what? Why didn't he tell me? And Will had attempted a suicide attempt. And I was shocked. I didn't know why. I ran downstairs. "What do you mean, Will's bleeding?" I couldn't believe that this had happened.
And she said, "Christina, Kai's gone." I said, "What do you mean? He doesn't have a car. I don't pick him up until 6. And then she cried very hard, and I was driving. And she said, "Christina, Kai's dead."
She had taken a bunch of pills and crawled up under bed, and that was the end of that. She did have an attempt when she was in high school, and so that always was a fear in the back of my mind, but almost in a weird way, I felt like, okay, we've been there, done that. I think she's moved through it.
Signs of maybe depression or signs of distress can mimic regular teenage behavior. You know, they kind of push the parents back. They want their own space. They want their own time. Maybe they're a little irritable or grumpy with you, give you snappy answers. But those can also mean signs of trouble.
I think he pushed himself too hard. I was concerned about him all year, but I could never put my finger on what it was. And then the week of, he had called me late at night and was explaining to me that he was really stressed out. I knew something was wrong because the phone call was late.
Looking back, I just kind of picture her probably teetering on a cliff, and just that one thing maybe was what it took to just push her over the edge.
Will has turned whatever issue was going on into something that will never end now. He may not deal with it, but we will.
I knew that the funeral, the memorial service would be packed, and it was, especially with young people. And I wanted them to understand the concrete reality of death, and the way that I could do that, as much as I don't like them, I had him as an open casket. And I wanted them to see that, Kai's not going to be able to sit up and talk to you and give his side of the story.
It's a club I never wanted to be a member of, and I hope our club stays this small, but unfortunately it probably won't, and that's okay.
If you have concerns, it's okay to just ask someone, "Are you considering suicide?" They're not going to suddenly say, "Hey, that's a great idea." If they're not considering it, they're just going to say, "No." But if they are considering it, you might give that doorway, you might open that doorway.
Part of my purpose now in my life is helping those who have been touched by suicide to find a meaning and a purpose still in their lives. And for me, it is to minister and to support those families who have been affected. We understand, and good intentions and love and support from family and friends is wonderful, but there's something about somebody who's been through it. Only they could ever truly understand the loss.